morning. I'm trying to find an easy way to just open up these files and be able to access the image and things without disabling CORS, or CORS. I don't want to disable it for all of Firefox because it actually allows other websites to access your credentials. And since I use Firefox, yeah. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe I'll open up Edge and use Edge just for testing, because Edge uses Chrome behind the scenes. So I should be able to Edge disable CORS. Should be able to disable it. Edge / flags. Protected content. None of the flags it's telling me to look up are there. Oh my god, the Microsoft report answer here isn't correct. This is wrong. This doesn't actually disable CORS. Dude, the Microsoft support people are actually idiots. Like, they're actually fucking idiots, man. This doesn't work. This isn't actually how you disable CORS. Oh my god. Oh my god, and he just repeated the same answer and then told you to get an extension or plugin. I bet it's a console command, just like Chrome is. Edge flags includes CORS. I don't know Edge, so I'm still like, I'm still worried it's, I'm like, I don't think it would, but I'm like still scared that like it would leak my IP or some shit. Under, oh my god, can you actually not disable? There's no... There's no way. Dude, it actually doesn't have anything for CORS. Prevents non-secure contacts. This is a step towards CORS. I just opened it in the wrong thing. I'm so used to Firefox. Contains cross-origin data that may not be loaded. Oh my god, dude. Web browsers are kind of fucking dumb right now, man. Like, holy shit. Concept of security zones is completely gone on Edge. It doesn't respect the internet options dialog. There's a workaround, a few group policy settings. That's so fucked, man. Do I actually just need to run nginx locally and copy my files? Or is there an equivalent on Windows of symlinks on Linux? Because that's what I think the goal would be, is making a link from the one folder to the other. Oh my god, wait, is this saying... Is this saying if you do shell execute and open via, like, the command prompt or whatever, that this will actually work? What did it just do? When you copy URLs, a friendly link of the URL title of the page is available to paste by default instead of the actual URL. Want to paste the URL? Just Control-Shift-V. If you want to have your default URL changed. Okay. File name directory. Volume is incorrect. I think I need a, quotations here. Okay, maybe no file. Nope, never mind, alright. No longer works for local files. Shit, dude. I think I'm gonna need to run local nginx. Do I need to launch it with allow access from files? Is that the secret trick? Okay, so we got our edge shortcut here. I don't know if we add it to the target or start in. I think it's target. Allow access from files. Need administer permissions. See if that worked. So it's cut off right now. And it's not playing the animation. But it is working. Alright, so that's how I'm gonna run local files. There we go. That way, I don't need to do any of this stupid stuff of, well, if I did that, and so you can do that same thing in Firefox by disabling the About Config option for strict URI, I think, not URL origin. And, yeah, but the thing is that it's actually insecure. It lets any website access your local files, and it also lets them access local storage and like index storage, and I think potentially even cookies from other websites. So basically it means you can leak your session IDs. People could basically like temporarily steal Twitch logins, for example, or things like that. So not something I actually want to run regularly on Firefox that I use for my logins and stuff. So what's wrong about this? Animator update, camera render, sprite.extra, animation.mat. I think it's an issue with the material. Animation.any, bitmap true, linear false. Why do I have bitmap true there? I don't think it's... I think it's enabled by default. Yeah, bitmap is true. Okay. I wonder if I used to have it false. Alright, depth rate false. We don't need to set any of this. Tiling is the tiling of the animation. I guess I can still make the field of view a bit bigger. So what I'm going to be looking at now is the shader. Here we go. Image sheet 2D. Local to screen, vPosition.xy. Tilex equals tiling. CW is padding. Place sheet animation, loop. Oh, the depth right wasn't overwriting it, I think. And maybe the camera doesn't... Is there a clear depth on the scene 2D? I think there is. Clear depth is false. Oh, that's bad. Clear depth should not be false. I actually think that's the fix. I literally just didn't have depth right working properly. Or not. Still not running. debug it though. So the animator is updating. The frame is changing. Sprite.extra is updating. Wait. So Sprite.extra is updating with the frame. So potentially I am forgetting to load in extra. So.extra is actually being set right here. So I know it's loading transform. Maybe it's failing to load the transform for whatever reason. Nope, it's loading the transform. I wonder if I'm potentially overwriting fbuff anywhere. .w. Oh, I switched it to 0.w. Am I using that anywhere else? No. Okay. So that was it. I switched around the shader variables. There we go. There's our running animation. Oh yeah, it's field of view X and Y. Beautiful. I wonder if I should make a way to make grayscale as alpha. I feel like you could just do that in a shader. Or actually just have alpha in the image. I wonder if I could write comments here. I think this is commented enough. Maybe make it a bit smaller. Take quite a bit to not be able to render this guy. Try 2. There we go. Alright. So that's a little animation demo, or at least frame by frame animation demo. I actually think I should put comments at the top saying what each demo is. I haven't done that yet. I think I might do that. So I figured out what I'm gonna do with these demos to like wrap them all up. Is whenever I release the engine, I'll have like a single page that has like a selector of all these demos. And when you open it up, it'll have like the code for the demo and editor beside the demo, so you'll be able to like live edit the code. And I'll be able to use the syntax highlighting in the code editor here for the actual, like, the demo will be used for the demo display, which I think will be pretty cool and makes use of the code editor. But that's a ways away. We're gonna focus on actually doing the engine first. I think I'm gonna jump into physics. Physics is huge. It's gonna be a really big project. Not sure if I want to copy and paste this. I already have a new physics 2D, which was my test ground for the new physics engine. Testing out doing a more advanced system, or actually how like physics engines work today. We've got all the different circle versus box collisions, box versus circle. Box versus box was what I got stuck on. Object-oriented box versus object-oriented box. I ended up figuring out you just basically have to try doing what this did, trying one point inside the other box. This is actually doing line box corners of one box versus the other. It's hard. What's interesting is the actual like physics didn't end up being that hard. It's calculating the collider responses, or calculating the proper like collision depth and normals and stuff for the colliders. But this was sort of hacked together. So now I'm gonna look at actually writing the, I'm just remembering, did I actually finish commenting this? I don't think I did. No, I never ended up documenting this. So I'll probably go through and document this, and then we'll work on the physics engine. So the physics engine, we'll start with just like simple circle. You know what, I'm thinking about the physics engine, so let's just go into the physics engine. What did I have for this little demo? Create wall, physics 2D body. Okay, we might do something like that, but first of all I'm going to copy all the old physics engine stuff I have here. It's going to be gone. Move it over to my discontinued folder. I think the lighting is also going to go in discontinued. And we're we're gonna write this with documentation from the very start, which, or at least basic documentation, which will make things a lot easier. What is this gonna require? vec2.js. I don't think it'll require transform, maybe just vec2. So, one of the things I actually haven't decided, I think, this is kind of hard, so you can do it like, have one global world, where I would set like global objects, like rigid bodies, and then you can just look through all the rigid bodies, and that's good for the majority of games. But what I'm thinking about is like, what if when you're writing servers, you might want multiple worlds on a server, so you like, so what I'm actually thinking of doing is doing a physics world class. Where like, then you can control what rigid bodies are in what world, and you could also use this as like an optimization technique by splitting up the world into different worlds. Like, you don't need certain objects to hit other objects when you have like islands and things. You can definitely use that. I think this is the way to do it, but it would also make it kind of more annoying, because now when you have to do stuff, you have to deal with it through this physics world object. But that's not too bad. I'm wondering if I should also put physics world 2D at the end, because it makes it a lot easier. It's just physics world, but don't want to have two classes named the same thing. Rigid body 2D. Collider 2D. Kind of gotta decide how I want these systems to be designed. I don't think I'm gonna write documentation quite yet. Like, I don't know if I want this to have a transform, because I could have this inherit from transform. Then it would use the scales for the collider. No, I think I'm going to keep it simple. And then probably an array of colliders, I guess. feel like I like velocity x better, but then it feels weird having angular velocity be different, because then it should be like velocity angle. That does match up better, which I kind of like. So now I gotta decide as well, do I want the colliders to be like inheriting from a class? Or do I want to, what I did in that test system is I had like an enum that was like collider 2D circle, and then like collider 2D box, and it could be like collider 2D line. This is like the type of collider. But then they would have different variables like radius. Let's just try writing it out like this as a parent class, and then collider 2D. I'm also thinking I should do a layering system where like you can choose what interacts with each other. So I'm not sure about the way I'm doing this. I have different positions for the colliders, a local and world position, so that when it's relative to a rigid body, it has a different local position. But then I feel like, but then if it's not, part of a rigid body, then it's such a waste to have all these colliders have these local values that are just going to be like either copied over or something anyways. I mean, I guess I might as well. So now the other thing was, in this I used a class collision2D to hold the collision data, and then I held those in a buffer which used pooled objects so that it didn't keep creating them. I feel like that's kind of a good approach. What did I do to resolve the collisions here? But I think what I can actually end up doing is combining the collisions, so I don't need to buffer them like that. So yeah, I loop through the collisions. Yeah, so you have to... I actually do need to solve each collision response manually, and then the one thing I do is I average out the forces. Except for the movement, but I actually should be doing max. Calculating the max movement on each axis is what I found to be good. There's so many tests and stuff to do for physics, it makes it so hard. I'm actually almost, like, it's almost easier for me to go and start working on 3D rendering and stuff before doing this. So why do I need to calculate the collision detection? Unless I move... It's only if I move the rigid bodies. Did I need to recalculate the collision detection? I think there's a way for me to do this without buffering all the collisions. I'm just thinking, like, I actually don't, so I feel like on the circles, the collision point isn't the same. You've got a collision point on one circle's surface, and then you've got a collision point on the other circle's surface. So I actually think I need, like, collision data that includes the normal. I think for circles at least that both normals will be the same, or one normal will be the other's inverse. Maybe not actually. Anyways, normal of one collider, normal of the other collider. Oh yeah, part of the other reason I buffered this, I think, is so that you can read all the collisions back. So then if you want to do collision responses, you can check the collisions. Hello AEM. I'm not just dev stream physics right now. I feel like I probably shouldn't be doing this right in the morning. I said I think I might switch to doing some 3D rendering, because that's probably easier than this. Or maybe not 3D rendering particularly, but I still have to do the 3D matrix math and stuff. Okay, I want to think about this for a second. You need to do so much planning for a physics engine beforehand of like how you want things to work. So like here, I decided to do a non-callback system. So like, for example, engines like Unity, and like, I think maybe, I'm not actually sure if Box 2D works the same way. But when you get a collision, it calls one of your functions and gives you a callback. But what I figured out is if you're having thousands of collisions each frame, and then you're doing like 100 frames per second, you're literally getting like 100,000 callbacks, which is actually not very efficient. So instead, doing like a buffer of collisions where you can loop through an array of the rigid body called collisions. So then, instead of getting thousands of callbacks, you loop through thousands of objects, checking if there's actually collisions. I'm not actually sure if it's better. So, yeah, either way, if you get thousands of collisions, if you want to process them, then you gotta process them. Time for BVH? I mean, yeah, that's the thing, even with BVH you can get thousands of collisions. Without BVH you get like... Actually, wait, no, BVH doesn't reduce collisions. BVH reduces the time it takes you to find collisions. But yeah, I feel like this system is kind of easier because you don't check for callbacks, but it uses a bunch of memory. I mean, I guess I could do a, There's no way of... See, that's the thing though, is this system doesn't give you a way of keeping track of collisions. You would need to yourself track that a collision is happening on the same point of an object. It's like stateless collisions. Kind of, it ignores that a collision existed the frame before. So... just thinking, what would be the best way? Honestly think doing a collision callback. 2D collision in shaders by reading neighbor pixel. Works for 3D, you need to check 3 times more data like voxels. Yeah. That's not the same thing as this though. That's kind of the thing I'm trying to avoid that shaders do, where you calculate like the same collision twice, one from each object's perspective, because they're each on like their own pixel. That's actually what this system's doing right here, but I don't want that to happen. So that is actually, yeah, I think the collision callback is the way to do it. Alright, so then if there is an intersection, it'll output data in collision A and collision B. Mix SDF with BVH. I mean, SDFs aren't that great. That's the issue, is the time it spends like marking, jumping, you're normally better just doing regular ray tracing. Like in this, it'll just end up ray tracing a circle when you call I'll have a ray trace function, and when you do that, it won't do SDF marking. That's actually what the old physics system does, is it is based off marking. Fuck, I'm an idiot, dude. I just said marking over and over again instead of marching. Holy shit. My brain just like read something out of my brain instead of like, you've got reading and then you've got actually hearing the thing, like marching. My Runglish getting to your head? Maybe. Yeah, man, so part of this is to actually do this properly, I need to like debug and test this a lot, like create up a test scene where I like move circles around and make sure they're being like pushed out of each other. I am literally too lazy to do that this morning. I am gonna switch over to working on the 3D physics and this 3D stuff. Oh my god, I also haven't... Yeah, so we gotta I'll document this morning, that's what we'll do. Too lazy to do it, use Box2D instead. Yeah, I did consider using Box2D. I am mostly making the physics engine, just like how I'm just making an engine for making an engine. So I mean, I do want to make a physics engine. I guess I could just copy most of these function documentations and just replace them with, or add a Z to them. I actually was like thinking about doing some game development again the other day and looking at going like, oh man, should I look at using Unity again? Should I look at using Box2D? Could not decide. Box2D does look pretty good, but I feel like it has like all the same issues. Or not all the same issues, but like the same thing I experienced with Unity. I feel like I'll experience with Box2D of going, oh, that doesn't do that. And I've just basically got to settle for Unity is what I feel like. But at the same time, it's like really dumb. I'm like, do I want to use the HD render pipeline in Unity that has all these bugs? Use or not use Unity? I'm guessing that's a Twitter post exactly on that. That is so true. Give someone an engine, they'll make a game. Teach someone to make an engine, and they'll never make anything. But you can enable millions to make. That is true. I don't know. I think all my stuff on Shader Toy and on my website isn't nothing. I think it's more the comparison of like, oh, your thing doesn't become the next big thing. And it's like, even if you make a game in Unity or whatever, it's very unlikely to become the next big thing. It is a good meme, but in the same way, it does apply to nearly everything else, I feel like. In that, like, you can spend all the time making a game and not come out with, like, your game cannot basically go nowhere. I feel like with the cool thing with an engine is at least, like, people can build or learn from it, and that's not necessarily true with a game. Oh wait, these are different functions. Calculate cross product between vector A and B. You can spend all time just optimizing single shader. Yup. Not even a shader, just like a regular program. Now, should I bother to have a rotate? I don't think I'm gonna bother to have a rotate 3D function. Oh, this is actually, So I think when I'm doing 3D physics, I won't even use this. I'll be using axis to angle representation. So if anything, I should have an axis angle rotate function. And then besides this, I'll just have, just do matrices, but at the same time I feel like having these rotate functions here can actually be really useful. Conflicting. I wonder if that's something maybe I'll do on stream today. What about going through and looking at a comparison between Unity's universal render pipeline and the HD render pipeline? My issue is the HD render pipeline seems like it has some bugs, and it is legitimately a lot slower than the universal render pipeline, and it actually doesn't seem to look that great. Like, it doesn't look like, if I'm taking like a goddamn, like, if my FPS is like 20% of what it is in the universal render pipeline, then I'm expecting the graphics to look like way better, but they don't actually look that way better. So that's the conflicting thing. Everything can look great. Light maps is enough for good look. See, Unity, I actually think Enlighten is back, but Unity's past few years, their light mapping has actually been way worse, because they switched light mappers. I honestly am wondering, what if I just went back to the old version of Unity? It might even be way easier. Do light maps in Blender. That's actually a good idea. That would be really fast as well, because it would just be static maps. And that would actually be really interesting, because you wouldn't even need, if it's all diffused, you wouldn't really need normal maps or anything. It would just all be baked. You have voxel light mapper, as I know. This all look not too good. Yeah, their voxel light mapper is the new one that they created in the past few years. Before they I don't know if they paid, but they used some other service to do it. This one called Enlighten, and then before that it was another one called Beast. And I think Beast is actually what Unreal Engine used too. And I remember Beast was actually the best. And then they switched to Enlighten and people were like, this is worse. But Enlighten still worked alright, so people used it. And then these past like 5 years, they're like, well, we're taking Enlighten out of the engine, or Enlighten's no longer supported. So we're making our own voxel light mapper, and the voxel light mapper is like, has some issues, like, you run into issues with the voxel light mapper that there's just like no solution for. It's just issue with voxels. Converts yawn pitch to direction vector. Converts direction vector XYZ to yaw pitch. Does this work? I'm actually not sure. Do these functions work? Like, are they one-to-one? I'm assuming they are, and I'm assuming I tested these. But I don't like to assume things, even things I did. Godot changes to Embry CPU light mapper now. Look actually good. Render very fast on CPU and like less than 1 minute for room scene with walls and few furniture objects. That sounds good. I used to watch videos while I ate lunch on stream. Today maybe I'll watch a video on like Unity's light mapper, or maybe Godot or some shit. We'll see. I think I've heard of Embry outside of Godot before too. My neighbor's kid is screaming outside. Sometimes it sounds like a horror film. Just like a kid screaming. It's like you're in one of the Saw movies or some shit. All light maps I did, it was in 2020 before Godot, Switch Embry. I did it all in Blender, but they were super simple light maps, like floor, only a few walls. I have done light mapping in Blender too, and I think Blender's mapping, like, or at least, what's the path tracer called? Cycles? If you do the path tracing in Blender with cycles, it literally looks perfect. Like, it is straight up realistic simulated lighting, which I honestly think is way better than Unity's and the other ones that are based off voxels and other approximations that don't actually do ray tracing. So what I'm testing right here is these two functions convert between direction and yaw and pitch in 3D. So I'm testing right now if this actually calculates properly. Alright, yaw, pitch, direction, converted yaw, pitch. Alright, it worked. It worked. Oh, interesting. These showed up as different, but I think they'll result in the same... Let's see if these result in the same angle. Yep, okay, so it is equal. Nice, those functions do work. Alright, I think I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna use these, I'm gonna have these functions. They're useful. Hold on though, I'm gonna go get some water. Probably stretch to it. I've been sitting for like an hour. Should I say anywhere that direction and normal vectors should be normalized? Like, I feel like anyone who understands this will actually know it's supposed to be normalized, but at the same time, it's like, how are people supposed to know unless you tell them? So I feel like putting somewhere like direction and normals should be normalized. Vector, it means a normalized vector. Alright. We're on to actual 3D matrices. Alright, this should be fun. Can I do multiple of these at once? Wait, am I mixing up columns and rows? I actually think I'm mixing columns and rows. Column of entries. Row. Yep, I'm mixing up columns and rows. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. So this is actually column 1. This, okay. Okay, so now that this is in 3D, doing the rotation is not nearly as easy. Huh. So, I'm actually wondering, how do I want to encode yaw pitch roll here? Should I... So I can't just feed in the cosine. Should I generate different matrices for each rotation and then apply those? Yeah, I'm actually thinking I should do it series, because that's literally what you need to do. You need to apply the rotation over and over again. Yeah, so I don't think Matrix 3D is gonna have this set function. I might have separate roll, pitch, and yaw. I'm just thinking. So I would need to apply the yaw, pitch, and roll separately to each matrix vector or row or column, and that would make it basically just as slow as doing matrix multiplication with each other. So yeah, I think we're just gonna do rotate. So now I need to decide, since this is doing a matrix multiplication, do I actually just want to put this rotation into another buffer? Huh. Technically, I guess I should be doing what like rotate 3D does, but to all the columns and rows. I wonder if, since it's just two smaller, if it's smaller rotations, you actually only need to apply it to these set columns. I think I might be able to get away with that. So let's think about this. Axis angle rotation would be applying the angle on a arbitrary axis or plane. This is going to be applying it on a fixed plane, which means we only need to apply it to certain rows and columns, I think. So yeah, let's do these separately. Rotate yaw. By angle. So this is actually applying it to the X and Y, I think. Yep, so this is applying the rotation to both columns. I think I need to apply it to one more. So each of these are actually rotated, so I think I can actually just use one temporary variable, because both these are rotated separately. Let me try this, try rewriting this. Nice, that does work. Okay. Alright. So now I need to do 3 more of these, one for each, one for pitch now. And do I actually apply pitch as YZ? Y is X, Z is... Z is Y. Okay. Yep. There we go. So that gives us our yaw, pitch, roll matrix rotation functions to let us do a nice rotation with Euler angles. Now we can do scaling, and then we can do hard stuff like inversion and things like that. That should be fun. Okay, now let's look up how to do 3x3 matrix inversion. I'm gonna go get some water before doing that. I'm pretty sure I know how 3x3 matrix multiplication works. I'm pretty sure I just like flip it and transpose it like this 2D one, but I want to find code just to make sure. I want to find someone literally writing out something like this. Oh my god, this is so fucking complicated. Wikipedia is probably simpler than that. I already looked at this a while ago. Oh my god, this guy literally copied from Wikipedia. Man, I feel like these Wikipedia examples are so fucking confusing compared to just posting actual code. Dude, this is actually a really cool method. So this is like calculating the product of the submatrices. This is using like blockwise or like divide and conquer method. I'm wondering if this is the same amount of multiplications or not. When I see these docs, I instantly turn to using eigen instead of even trying to understand it. Dude, Wikipedia, this shit's so bad. Like, this is actually so, like, who understands this shit? Like, I feel like the only people who understand this shit are people who already have a complete understanding of math. And then it's like, isn't the point of this for people who don't have a complete understanding of math yet? Like, fuck. I'm going to calculate number of multiplications here. So this is 9 times 2, 18 multiplications, and 2 adds and 3 subtracts. So 18 multiplies and 5 adding and subtracts. Check this related to math. I need to find a better... So man, I saw this thing someone used the other day for viewing tweets, and it doesn't open up the tweet on Twitter. It opens up tweets on like another website or something, and it looks so much better. I want to find it so I don't like... I hate opening up Twitter on stream and there's a whole bunch of like stuff along the side. SIGGRAPH Asia paper compatible with Markdown for linear algebra. Yep, so that looks confusing as fuck. Mathematicians are crazy. I don't know what's going on in their head. Twitter without ads on the side. It converts formulas to code. It works live in browser. They have working editor. I don't know if it's useful, but look crazy how they edit it. No, it makes sense though, because like all this stuff actually does convert to code. Oh my god. So I think the trick... Okay, Twitter has like an embed. Okay, how do I do this? Twitter open embedded. So Twitter has an embedded tweet system, so if you can open it embedded, it should not have anything on the side or anything. better tweet viewer. Twitter alternative client. Holy shit. Maybe I'll make a stripped down version of Twitter. Or I mean, not like make an alternative website. Maybe I'll literally make a client for Twitter. Or at least a way to remove stuff off the side. So apparently the best chance it looks like is using uBlock origin to manually block the stuff at the side of the tweet. Alright. Yep, so just using uBlock origin. That's so bad at website design. Alright. Okay, so this has total of 18 multiplications and 5 adds and divides. How many does this have? I actually think that this is slower and not optimized. Let me try calculating this. Oh wait, actually, determine is non-zero matrix invertible. Elements of the intermediate matrix are given by. Oh, okay, so these are actually intermediary. That's really interesting. This is very similar to like blockwise inversion right here. Anyways, let's calculate this. So bad website design, Twitch source code has MSQL connection lines in the code with login tokens. SQL connection. I don't know if that's necessarily that bad. Like the MSQL connection is usually local to the server or has like IP verification on it. That might not necessarily be that bad. It is bad. If no one can access the server, then why does it matter? I feel like the Twitch leak has been really overblown. There's still a bunch of people, like, now people have started figuring out passwords weren't actually leaked. But, people are still saying, like, passwords were leaked. There's, like, other stuff leaked, but there's been no proof of that or anything, which is kind of the crazy thing. And all of the, like, software is, like, there's no, like, proof that it's, like, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, it's been out for like a few days now and Twitch hasn't actually gone down, which I think is a pretty good sign that if this stuff, like the hacker got this a while ago, if it's been out this long and Twitch hasn't been hacked or anything, like I don't think there's anything serious in it. Like, so one of the things in it, I actually wonder how legal it is to talk about. Like, most of this stuff, like, at what point? So this stuff was technically hacked, so people weren't allowed to access it, but now it's being reported publicly by, like, news agencies and stuff. So at this point, is it considered public and you can actually talk about this stuff? So, like, what was in the leak specifically? They actually had hacking tools in the leak. Part of the software that was leaked was hacking tools that Twitch used to test their own software for, for weak points and things, basically like pen testing. They don't have DB infrastructure, they allocate new random DB for every new website feature and burn this connection lines to code. Minigames logo on Twitch were changed to some other troll image. I thought it was just a Jeff Bezos image, and I didn't see anything that actually like showed why that happened. So like that's an actual thing that can happen. Like you can naturally have cache poisoning. Like you can randomly just have hashes collide and you get cache poisoning. Or I can't remember what it's called. It's not called cache poisoning when it's random. Equivalent of cache poisoning. But they don't actually need to upload a file or anything. They just need to like fuck with where people's cache gets the image from. Statistics of DNS cache errors. I'm interested that, yeah, I wonder where the info, anyways, the DNS caches check if the file is the same based off a hash value, and hash values aren't perfect. You've got like a 1 out of a trillion chance that you've actually got a collision, and you can basically get a really bad, like you can just get really unlucky and caches actually serve the wrong image that's actually been either changed or, yeah, it's rare, but I actually want to read up on cache poisoning. What is cache poisoning? Imagine a senior year prank. High school seniors change out all the room numbers on their high school campus so that the new students don't know the campus layout. They'll spend the next day getting lost and showing up in wrong classrooms. DNS cache poisoning is the act of entering false information into a DNS cache so that DNS queries return an incorrect response and users are directed to the wrong websites. DNS cache poisoning is also known as DNS spoofing. IP addresses are the room numbers, enabling... Oh, yeah, this whole thing is because it uses... Wait. Traffic goes to the wrong places. Typically no way for DNS resolvers to verify the data in their caches. Chief problem was built for a much smaller intranet based on a principle of trust. More secure DNS protocol called DNSSEC is aimed to solve some of these problems. DNS resolver will save responsive to IP addresses. Oh, it uses UDP instead of TCP. Shit, dude. Attackers can poison DNS caches, make a request to DNS resolver, forging the reply. The DNS resolver queries a namespace. This is possible because the DNS servers use UDP instead of TCP. Currently no verification for the DNS information. Authoritative name server was the IP for example.com. User, what's the IP for example.com? Sends you to the malicious website. DNS requests and responses use UDP. There's no guarantee that a connection is open, and the recipient is ready to leave, or that the sender is who they say they are. Oh my god, this is actually crazy. I actually didn't think it was broken this bad. That's actually pretty fucked, man. Several governments have intentionally poisoned DNS caches within their countries in order to deny access to certain websites. DNSSEC is short for name system security extensions. Uses public key cryptography to verify and authenticate data. Man, it's crazy to think that, like, it's actually crazy to think how unsecure a bunch of stuff we use is. Like, actually crazy. Well, whatever. Can be expressed concisely in terms of cross product and triple product consisting of 3 column vectors. Invertible, its inverse is given by, is equal to the triple product. I have never heard of a triple product. Internet design very outdated, not ready for modern microservice. Peer-to-peer usage. No, it sounds like peer-to-peer usage is exactly what's wrong there. The peer-to-peer usage assumes trust, and that's the whole thing that was broken in the DNS, is it used UDP, which is basically peer-to-peer, assuming trust. So let me actually look this up. Triple product. It's a product of 3-dimensional vectors named triple product. It's for 2 different products. Defined as the dot product of one of the vectors with the cross product of the other 2. Oh. Okay, interesting. So transpose of a to the power of 2 minus transpose of a to the power of 2 times half times I. What is I here? Cross product and triple product equals dot product. Yep. Alright. All this stuff actually does seem to make a bunch of sense. I think this is the fastest way of doing it. Let me I still want to calculate the number of multiplications. So there's 9. There's 2 multiplications for each. So that is actually still 18 multiplications. Wait, there's actually... Yeah, there's 2 multiplications. There's 9 subtracts, so there's actually more subtracts. Yes, but it all works out being more efficient. Okay, so there's our inverse method, or hopefully our inverse method. Maybe this will work. Maybe it won't. The annoying part is going to be converting this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I to my format. Let me actually do this. A equals M00. Basically, I'm going to write out where the actual... Should I do this with my brain, maybe? Actually, I'm just going to do this with my brain. B is M10. 0. C will be M20. Okay. wonder if I copied that correctly. I think that's correct. I'm worried I might have made a mistake somewhere. I think it's good though. Oh wait, I have it wrong. I'm not 100% confident in this, so I'm actually going to try running this code a bit and see if this works. I don't have any multiplications functions right now, so I can't even test this. I just realized I need to do matrix multiplication before I can do this. Oops. I'm wondering if I should do... I guess I should include multiply inverse in here. I mean, it'll make the function a lot bigger, but... I'm wondering if I should cache the inverse rotation. I feel like that would be useful in a lot of cases. Whenever the matrix is updated, maybe store an inverse? Huh. But then at the same time, calculating the inverse when you don't need it isn't really necessary. I guess I'll just do the multiply to begin. Is my matrix rotation backwards here? I guess not. Am I doing this backwards? Am I applying the rotation in the wrong order? I actually think I am. So I think the order of this matters. I guess I should test this. Oh my god, the Matrix has issues. And I think I know what it is. It's, I have the rotation flipped in the functions. Damn. Alright, so I found an error. Friends. So I'm applying the multiplication in the wrong order. Alright, so this is not rotating clockwise. I think it should. Math, should rotations go clockwise? I feel like rotations should go clockwise. Why rotation in the counterclockwise direction is positive and clockwise rotation negative? Counterclockwise rotation was positive, clockwise is negative. There's no mathematical reason we decide to call it positive. Counterclockwise considered positive. Okay, it does make sense. So I actually have it correct rotating counterclockwise. Okay, interesting. There we go, now it should be consistent. Now I'm still wondering, is this actually applying the matrix? Wait, are all my rotations going in the wrong direction then? Alright, I'm actually getting like tired of this, or like, I think my brain's getting foggy or something. I'm gonna go have lunch. It's probably because I haven't eaten much. I think I'll be back in like an hour or two. Honestly, I'm thinking of doing some Unity development. I'm thinking of just making a little map in Unity. I don't mean actual Unity development, I mean just like using something like the universal render pipeline to just like make a map, do some 3D modeling. I'll think about it. It's probably a bad time for me to decide right when I just said my brain is foggy, but yeah. Anyways, I think that was pretty good progress this morning. We fixed issues with the 2D matrix multiplication. 3D matrix multiplication is almost done. 2D frame-by-frame sheet animations are working. I actually think I'm liking the design of the physics engine that I talked about this morning. Yeah, I think it's good progress. Anyways, that's it for the stream for now. I hope you have a good day, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Bye-bye.